Well, hello everybody, and today I'd like to showcase a ship to you. This is a battleship, or at least that is what it was supposed to be the day I built it. This is one of my very first ships, and as you might see, as you can see, it looks quite old, and that is because it is. This ship was built before the Warfare 2 update, though, so no of the new turrets are built in here. The ship is mainly ion and hydrogen powered, and has quite a decent acceleration deceleration. And one other thing that ship excels at pretty well is staying alive. That ship is very difficult to kill. It does not have the biggest damage output, but it has quite a big survivability. So let's go inside. Oh. In here we have the main hangar. We can open this on our button panel here, as well as an interior turret that'll try to fend off any boarders that try to come into that ship. And those are one of the first fighters I built. They're basically only a fighter cockpit, a few batteries, and a few ion thrusters, and paired up with two missile launchers and two Gatling guns, as well as a bigger one. Ooh, let's not fall down here. Which have something like rockets built there, and basically they function just as hydrogen thrusters, which thrust override is being higher increased. So they basically just fly straight, but they worked rather well at the time. Yeah. Looking up here, we can climb up the ladders here to see those cockpits. And since this was released before the Warfare 2 update, those turrets we can see up here, they're controlled manually, which means I only have access to the rotors up here, so we can change direction and fire them. There's not much more those turrets can do. And that is, I think, really interesting. And they worked back then. Let's see what those timer blocks do. I cannot remember anymore. Well, I think we'll never find out. Yeah. So let's go up here. Sadly, this ship does not have an interior, big interior. Yeah, it was one of my first ships, as I said, and basically it only has a survival kit, another cockpit for a turret up here, our main cockpit and two seats, as well as two upside down doors, and a small place up here where I intended to put something in the end, but in the beginning, but in the end I didn't, because I never had the patience to do it. So that's basically all there is on the interior of the ship. Let's jump in here and see how it'll move around. First of all, our gyroscops are quite maneuverability is quite good. We can shift around without moving the mouse too much. We have an okay acceleration, especially for a ship that size. That's mainly due to an internal thruster bank that'll help accelerate and decelerate the ship overall. So we not only have those thrusters in the front decelerating, we also have the interior bank of hydrogen thrusters. Yeah. Also, side thrust is mainly generated on the inside of the ship, which is one of the key features that'll make it that survivable. So let's look at the weaponry. In the front, we have quite a few missile launchers. Let's fire those and look at them. Yeah, and back then that was basically the gold, the best of the best. So those are mainly the ship's primary weapons, and they work quite well back then. They're, let's say, okay today. Yeah. We also have few cameras to zoom, and also hangar and turret controls. Let's keep our hangar open and back down so we can look at our fighters. So let's start with the small ones. We just jump in, press Y to activate our fighter, then activate our thrusters with 6, and then deactivate. Oh, that was not good. Yeah, then we disconnect with our connector via switching it off. Okay, so I'm not sure why it's not working. I'm sorry. So it should work now. Parking disengaged. So now I'm back. I found out what seemed to be the problem. So our thrusters are switched off separately on this ship. So let's switch off our connector so that the strength will not adhere to, so that it'll not be pulled back by the connector. Yeah, and apparently, yeah. Let's see why our gyros are not on. I'm not sure why that is. So, okay, let's go fly out of the hangar and see what we can do. So this is a rather small ship, as I basically said. It's basically a cockpit, a battery, and a few thrusters. So let's shoot around a bit. We have a few Gatling gun turrets, Gatling guns with no turrets, and a few separate missile launchers. Yeah, and the ship is quite small, quite cheap as well. It's not really that maneuverable as a fighter. It's it's not really that good, but it worked quite well for me at that time I made it. So let's look at our big boy in there. Yeah, let's firstly switch on all our thrusters. Then let's switch on the rest of our ship, disconnect it from the connector, and slowly maneuver out. Yeah, so we can see there are a multitude of settings here. We still have our Gatling guns, even while we do have quite a bit more than the other one, but we only have 2 missile launchers, one missile launcher in front of here. Yeah, but this ship's main weapon basically are its missiles, and I think those are up here, and we can arm them separately. So this is for the left the first one is for the left missile, and up here we can fire it with the button 3. And basically all that does is accelerate that thing away, and it'll just throw into the direction of an enemy, hit it, and then explode. And yeah, it's quite effective, it's quite cheap, and it's not really that power intensive or resource intensive. It's basically only a point and shoot. Let's see. And it works like a charm. Beautiful. So this ship is a little more advanced. It has 2 hydrogen thrusters up here. It only has a small tank though, so the endurance of it will not be that great. I could not get this ship to start from a planet. I tried a bit, but it wouldn't want to, and because we just don't have enough thrust and capacity. But it'll help us quite nicely if we want to accelerate quickly in space, and that is basically what this ship is made for. And I think that one is quite a capable fighter, especially for the time, without any warfare weapons. That ship worked quite well, even with a few battles. Yeah, I really enjoyed that ship. So let's get back to our big boy and look at our main armament. So the main armament of the ship consists of missile turrets and Gatling gun turrets, and those are inset into the blocks here. That works quite well because of the height of those turrets. They can shoot above here, so their range of motion is not really infringed upon, so they can move around and they can shoot. But due to the inset nature of this build technique here, they cannot be hit that easy. And especially if you look at those up here, it's not that easy to hit them, and therefore they stay alive quite a lot longer. They're also reinforced by welders, so they can stay alive even longer. Yeah, and that can keep that ship fighting for quite a long time. So we're gonna do something now I normally don't. We're going to split that ship in half so you can see how I made it up. So let's remove this side. So basically this ship is, on the inside it only has hydrogen tanks and cargo containers. As you can see, we have a few small hydrogen tanks up here. And this is our internal thruster bay. And yeah, it keeps the ship alive, it keeps it going, and it works really, really well. We have our hangar up here and our small reactors for redundancy up front. Since this ship does not really have too many iron thrusters, sorry, they work, we don't need that big of a reactor, and it works like that pretty good. And the main armor of this ship comes from the sides, where it has up to 3 layers of heavy armor inlaced with blast door blocks, which are quite good because they do not deform when damaged. Yeah. So this is basically everything this ship has to offer. Thank you for watching, and bye.